lovely.
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
So should we start from the very beginning then? So let's talk about Space West and what Space West is and what you guys do.
Yeah, sure. So Space West is a consortium of regional partners that include the Universities of Bristol, Bath, University of West of England and the West of England Combined Authority, the Centre for Modelling and Simulation. And the overall aim of that is part funded by the UK Space Agency. And the overall aim of the Space West cluster is to grow the regional space ecosystem. So we cover the geographies of Swindon and Wiltshire, Bristol and Bath and Gloucestershire. And the work that I do as Space Cluster Manager is aimed at looking at where the unique opportunities are for our region, understanding what the market is, helping companies navigate the sector and brokering relationships and bringing companies into the space sector that haven't thought about where they could play a role within the space sector within the UK and globally. An example of some of the stuff we've been doing is we've really been trying to spearhead this piece around cybersecurity and space, for example. I'm leading a national network called CySpace, which is looking at the cybersecurity requirements for space domain awareness, bringing both the cyber communities and the space communities together to define what those requirements are, understand where the gaps are across the UK and where we need to influence global policy and global standards around cybersecurity for space so that we make sure that we get secure space assets.
Definitely.
Brilliant.
Should we go on in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dayton, we take you in the Electro Impact Cell, and this is Joe Taylor, one of the composite technicians.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you,
Composite Centre.
Rebekka. Hi, yeah, so I'm the composite technician in here in this cell. I'm also one of the zone owners as well. You can put a jacket on, please, before you go in. I've got a couple just up here for you.
Perfect, thank you.
So we've got to put the lab coats on to make sure that we don't get any contamination from our clothes onto any customer projects that's going on, and also any material that's in there. We don't want that getting onto your clothes and ruining what you've got on.
So whereabouts are we going into now? And could you tell me a bit more about the machinery and robotics that we have in this room?
So this is our AFP and ATL cell. We've got a AFP heads, an ATL head, and the probing and the ultrasonic knife. This has been designed by Electro Impact as well for us. We've got Kuka Titan robot, which is one of the biggest that they actually own.
Is that over there?
That's that one just over there, yes. Which currently has the AFP head on, which holds up to 8 bobbins. The size that we've currently got is 12.7 mil. And this can do various different operations and tools for different customers.
Why are these robots unusual? Why are they important to the UK?
So with the robots and everything, it's going to help with the deposition of the material. It helps speed the whole process up a lot quicker as well. So what could take a few days for laying up by hand can be done in a few hours, if not a day, by the actual robot itself. It's a lot more precise and a lot more accurate as well than if we were to do it by hand, because we would then have to be checking everything a lot more by the lasers, making sure everything's all within tolerance.
If you think about composites themselves, composites allow us to make materials much lighter but deliver the same strength and some of our other more heavy materials like steel might be used, for example, within the aerospace sector, but moreover things like within the offshore renewable wind sector. It looks at the next generation of materials into composites. It looks at sustainability of composites, looking through the whole life cycle analysis to try and develop circular economy for composite materials as well. And these are really, really important, thinking about the future of these sectors, so that we can develop net zero capabilities for aerospace, for the energy sector, and develop these new technologies
For the future of technology, future of space.
Thinking about the future, we're thinking about an in-space economy, so thinking about manufacturing in space, an economy basically leveraging the microgravity and environment that exists in space. So there are companies that are developing pharmaceuticals that leverage that microgravity environment. And what that means is, for example, the crystals form in different ways because there isn't gravity. in space that will affect the formation of those drugs or those crystals within space, and they can be brought back down to Earth and then developed into new products for people. What we also have is a very congested low Earth orbit. And what that means is we have satellites that have run out of fuel and are essentially just orbiting the Earth and causing congestion in space. Those satellites are moving at 28,000 kilometres per hour. If they collide into another satellite, even if a centimetre speck of paint from a satellite collides with another satellite, it will cause this almost chain reaction of
then more
collisions, and more debris is formed, and therefore more collisions will happen. And that's really problematic, because that could mean that we lose the use of low Earth orbit. And if we think about what that means, it means that we lose the benefits of space down here down on Earth.
We obviously know you through different bits that Space West and CyNam do together. So I think it would be really interesting to talk about the collaboration that is to come through cybersecurity and space.
Yeah, absolutely. So cybersecurity for space is so important. And it's one of the areas that hasn't actually been focused on enough historically. So if you think about the commercialisation space, historically, the space sector was the domain of governments. And so it was only governments sending things to space in satellites. But as the sector has been commercialised, we've got more and more actors within space, and cybersecurity is really, really critical. The space sector has a tendency to talk to itself, and what it has historically really struggled to do is communicate effectively to both the public but other technology communities about the benefits and the importance of space. And so this is, the work that we've done as CyNam and Space West with the Guardians of the Galaxy event. It was to try to bring those communities together to help each other understand.
And spark that conversation.
Precisely, yeah.
So it was really great today to go into the lab and see the robots in action and seeing the prototypes that potentially will be used in the future of space.